Hey there everyone, 𝗧𝗿𝗃𝗍𝗻, physical therapist here. Got this brightness behind me. I don't know if we can fix that at all, but I want to talk to you guys about running on the treadmill versus the road because we're getting ready to close out our run analysis for 2019 where you can save 20%. And we have some questions coming through about like how does the treadmill versus the road affect my running? If I submit my videos on a treadmill, is it going to change against what the road looks like? And truthfully, like there's this huge idea that if you run on the treadmill and you run on the road, it's going to be completely different. And after doing this, Pat and I have been doing this for 20 plus years, we can confidently tell you that most people run very similar on the road as they do on the treadmill, and here's why. Because running is a movement-based activity that is run off a lot of habit. If you ever gone through a run and you just kind of, going through the motions and you zone out and you just get through your run, you're just running off a habit loop. Your body's running the habit program and you're just going down the road. So when you change your surface, rarely does someone change the way that they run. So how do you look at this? Because there's some research that talks about when you're on a treadmill, the belt will change because people think it's a pushing and pulling motion and the ground's moving underneath you. From our standpoint, what we find with most runners is that the only time we have to get so far into the weeds to figure out how the treadmill is affecting their running is when we can't find flaws in their run form. Like their foot strike's perfect, they got good knee carry, their strength is really good. And I can tell you that's rarely, if ever, have we had someone be like, oh, man, that looks pretty good. I think I need to have you submit some videos from a different surface, because most runners are dealing with some really low-hanging fruit to fix their running, to immediately save energy, run faster, and get injured less. Those low-hanging fruit pieces don't care about the surface that you're running on because they're big picture things. They're movement-based things that you don't even know you're doing, and that, truthfully, they're easy fixes. And I've talked about this a little bit, but the majority of the story is, or the key of the story is that you shouldn't have to worry about how a treadmill is affecting your running, because you have bigger fish to fry, you have bigger problems typically. And I've seen, thousands of people run. I've seen maybe one or two people in the last 10 years who were drastically different from the treadmill to the road. And they got me because I told them they weren't. And then they showed me and they were. And most everyone runs the exact same. I actually want to show you this, see if I can actually do this. So the flaw that I see with a lot of runners, right, is they're taking their stride. They're going to reach forward and take that next step. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around here for you. And looking at my feet, my awesome socks, when someone's coming through and this leg is coming through, this leg is not on the ground yet, right? It's swinging through. And the first error we see with runners, if you want a bird's eye view, is they do that. Like, my foot's not even on the ground yet, and I've already made a crucial error in my movement. So I'm swinging through, and then I'm banging into the ground. My center of mass is back here, and this foot's right out to the front. This is just a battering ram coming up into my body. The treadmill doesn't affect this because the movement error happens before I even touch the ground. So while the treadmill can affect your run form in the end, it's very unlikely that it's going to make a difference when you're just kind of touching the tip of the iceberg on what you can do to improve your running. So don't worry about the fact that you want to get recorded on a treadmill, or you want to have your run form analyzed on a treadmill versus the road. Just do something. Put the wheels in motion. Start grabbing low-hanging fruit. That's one of the things that we do with our analysis. When we get a runner in front of us, and I'm going to sit down again, I'm tired. But when we get someone who comes in and submits us video to look at their running, the first thing we do is identify low-hanging fruit. What can you do to start improving your running immediately? And a lot of times that's foot strike. A lot of times that's just learning how to open your stride. And there's nothing like seeing it. So, when you see yourself run, and I sent out an email this morning that most people, when I ask them if they've seen themselves run, and they're usually like, oh yeah, I saw myself when I ran by a shop window. And that's the only time that they see themselves. And it's not a very good way to analyze your running when you're staring at yourself and you think you look good and it doesn't look that great typically. So when you see yourself run, it's easy to kind of see, well, that doesn't look right, and you can start to improve some things. But seeing is believing. It's very easy to understand how to run faster when you know what you're doing wrong. If you want our help, today is the last day. So I put a link in this post. We've been doing this for 20 years combined. or even longer, really, because Pat's been out longer than I have. But we can show you exactly what you can do to run faster, improve your efficiency, save energy, fix injury, and the analysis is a great way to do that, and you can actually see what you're doing and what you can improve upon. So we'll send you all the drills and stuff back. If you want some help with your run form, go to the link in this post. Today's the last day to save 20%, and you can upload it anytime after purchase. So it's not like you have to use it immediately. You can use it whenever you need. So just know that don't worry about the treadmill versus the road. Just get moving, identify things you can start working on, and start improving. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. MyRunForm.com if you want some help with your running, and I'll talk to you guys. Bye.